This courtroom hearing opens with tension already in the air. A domestic violence case involving Tia Jo Brooks and Austin Brooks, a married couple with a deeply troubled history. What starts as a sentencing hearing quickly turns into a raw and emotional breakdown of a family struggling with addiction, relapse, and long-term domestic conflict. The judge doesn't just look at one incident, he looks at years of behavior, patterns of violence, and a family already caught in the system. With prior counseling, relapse issues, and children involved, the stakes are incredibly high. But what really shocks everyone is how the judge balances punishment, rehabilitation, and family responsibility all at once. Will she be sent deeper into probation, or will prison still be on the table? Let's break down how this explosive courtroom moment unfolds.
Person case on Brittany Shank. There's a podcast of some national notoriety about it. Their criticism, whether justified or not, of the quality of the investigation. I have not listened to the podcast. It's been recommended to me by a number of people, but I might have to hear the case at some point if they ever find what the deal is. So I purposely not listened to it. So anyway, I don't appreciate your abusing my staff. It's not illegal to shut off the comments. In fact, it's required. And you certainly have the right to follow the case from wherever you are, but I'm not supposed to know much about it. Anyway, let's talk about the case we are dealing with. This is in the matter of Tia.
I've got no red lights.
Oh, yes, thank you. Once upon a time, every time I was on the record, I had a recorder in here, but the world doesn't work that way anymore. In fact, back before you were born, I had a stenographic reporter in here, and he sat right here with a stenograph machine. So he was here whenever I was here before we were all video.
At this stage, the courtroom confirms that Tia Brooks has pled no contest to a domestic violence charge, meaning she does not admit guilt but accepts conviction. Legally, this allows the judge to move directly into sentencing under a deferred adjudication program, which is crucial here. The defense argues for a deferral program instead of incarceration, highlighting her ongoing mental health treatment and efforts to stabilize her life. Importantly, both sides acknowledge a long history of domestic issues within the relationship involving Austin Brooks, including relapse into alcohol abuse and repeated family instability. One major legal factor here is that a deferral keeps the conviction off record if conditions are met, but any violation could immediately trigger jail time. So the question becomes, should rehabilitation outweigh punishment in a case with repeated domestic violence history? Or does the pattern itself demand harsher consequences?
Domestic violence charge. Prosecution has no objection to a deferral, and I set the matter for sentencing today. I have not received any input from Austin Brooks. The prosecutor's not here. The victim advocate isn't here. So I guess I know what I know. Mr. Truckee, what would you like me to know?
Well, first, I'd say that Tia's like many mothers do. I think she's punted on her own well-being for about 20 years. And she's just finally this year, with some of these incidents, been able to realize that she needs to take care of Tia too, not just kids and husband. So I do think she's reforming herself already. I think the domestic violence deferral program will be another tool in her toolbox to kind of get through, break through some things that she needs to break through to get where she needs to get. This incident, I guess we don't, with a deferral program, I don't need to get into the facts of the incident, but you're familiar with Mr. Brooks and you're now familiar with Mrs. Brooks. And this was a situation where nobody was in the right, I would say, but Mrs. Brooks certainly recognizes she was in the wrong. So I'd ask the court to sentence to the deferral program. And I would like to ask that the no contact between the two be lifted. There's been a no contact order in place since this incident. Sought to have that lifted prior. And the prosecutor was not willing to agree to it at that time. But I would believe that a sufficient time has passed now that this married couple could reunite.
Normally, once the sentence is in place, we would lift the no contact unless the complainant asks to continue it.
Your Honor, I have no objection. I mean, my perspective on this case is Ms. Brooks been on the receiving end for years. She finally got her licks in this particular case. I have no problem with the deferral with
This is where the judge's tone becomes much more personal and direct. He openly acknowledges knowing this family for years and even references Austin Brooks' previous participation in a domestic violence program that initially showed progress, but later collapsed due to relapse. The emotional weight here is significant. Children are involved, one son has already moved out, and CPS concerns are raised regarding the welfare of a 1-year-old child. The judge emphasizes a hard truth. The system has already tried counseling and intervention, yet the cycle continues. He also highlights something controversial: how dependency on government assistance and unstable relationships are contributing to ongoing instability. This is not just punishment, it's a warning. The court stresses accountability, stating that failure to comply with probation conditions like counseling, drug testing, and reporting could result in incarceration. So here's the big question. Is the judge being fair and realistic, or too harsh in how he frames their lifestyle and choices?
You have voluntarily submitted yourself for hospitalization and treatment. You're taking this very seriously, and it is going to affect. Someone stole your Kleenexes. Ross, would you take those back over to her? So let me ask you a couple of questions. Who's in the house?
Me and my daughter and my son.
Are there two boys?
My son Lucas moved out because of this.
Okay.
Because of
How old is he now?
he's 19, because he was a part of the whole incident.
All right, where did he move to?
He lives in Constantine.
Where did Austin go?
He's at his dad's house.
All right, and you indicated he no longer works at Yoder's?
Because of this, he no longer works at Yoder's.
All right, and how old are the children that are with you?
5 and 16.
There's been no divorce filed?
Not yet, Your Honor.
Where does Austin work now?
He just recently, it's a
Meat cutter.
meat
Oh.
cutter.
He used to be the hog processing plant there.
Yeah.
out
Well,
on
he
County-
was in
County
the food-
Farm Road by Monty Board.
I was very proud of him, frankly. But it's all day, every day, one day at a time.
Yeah.
All right, what's your plan going forward?
I mean, I'm just gonna continue going to counseling. I got both of my son Noah and my daughter Karina in counseling as well, just because of all of this. We're planning on doing family counseling. I mean, I go to counseling twice a week, Your Honor. I see my caseworker every week and my therapist.
Your source of income?
Right now, I start a new job tomorrow.
I had 2 domestic violence cases yesterday, which were very discouraging. This one, I'm encouraged. You're doing everything that I probably would have ordered you to do preemptively. You had your reasons for being angry. This involved your whole family. You're working on your whole family. With this deferral, this charge can be taken off your record and made non-public. And the most important part in this process is the women's domestic violence program. I started the first domestic violence program when I was the prosecutor a long time ago. And we didn't have one for women. And because most of the women were on the victim side. But we started one 30 or 35 years ago. And it has been very good, almost to a person. Every woman that ever went in the domestic violence, women's anger management, told me they thought it was wonderful. They were sorry when it was over. And many women who are charged with domestic violence are also victims of domestic violence. And so this class will help you come to terms with everything that is going on here. So you spent one night in jail. 11 days in jail, credit 1, leaving 10 days to serve. But all 10 of those days are deferred. You're not going to do any other jail time if you do what I ask you to do.
Okay, Your Honor.
All right, the fine is $0. There's a $75 crime victims' rights fee, a $50 state minimum fee, $150 attorney fee. This is a 12-month probation, and you could actually do it in 6 months if you can complete everything.
Okay.
The probation oversight is $480.
In the final ruling, the judge chooses a structured but strict path instead of immediate prison time. Tia Brooks receives a 12-month probation under a domestic violence deferral program, with conditions including anger management, counseling, no drugs or alcohol, and mandatory supervision. Financial penalties are also imposed, including court-related fees totaling several $100s, along with oversight costs that can be reduced if she completes probation early. Importantly, the no-contact order between her and Austin is lifted, allowing the couple to potentially reunite under supervision. However, the judge makes one thing crystal clear: any violation could lead directly to jail time, with no leniency. This case highlights the justice system's balancing act between punishment and rehabilitation, especially in domestic violence cases involving families and children. If you found this case as shocking as we did, make sure to hit that like button. Share your thoughts in the comments. Would you have made the same ruling? And don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping courtroom breakdowns.